This is the Chapter 4, the Tissue Level of Organization Study Outline Guide. Types of tissue and their origins. A tissue is a group of similar cells, usually with a similar embryological origin, that is specialized for a particular function. The various tissues of the body are classified into 4 basic types: epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous tissue. All tissues of the body develop from 3 primary germ layers. The first tissue that forms in a human embryo, ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. I'm going to say that again. All tissues of the body develop from 3 primary germ layers. The first tissues that form in a human embryo, ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Cell junctions. Cell junctions are points of contact between adjacent plasma membranes. Tight junctions form fluid-tight seals between cells. Adherens junctions, desmosomes, and hemidesmosomes anchor cells to one another or to the basement membrane, and gap junctions permit electrical and chemical signals to pass between cells. Epithelial tissue. The subtypes of epithelia include covering and lining epithelia and glandular epithelia. An epithelium consists mostly of cells with little extracellular material between adjacent plasma membranes. The apical, lateral, and basal surfaces of epithelial cells are modified in various ways to carry out specific functions. Epithelium is arranged in sheets and attached to a basement membrane. Although it is avascular, it has a nerve supply. Epithelia are derived from all 3 primary germ layers and have a high capacity for renewal. Epithelial layers can be simple, 1 layer, or stratified, several layers. The cell shapes may be squamous, flat, cuboidal, cube-like, columnar, rectangular, or transitional, variable. Simple squamous epithelium consists of a single layer of flat cells. It is found in part of the body where filtration or diffusion are priority processes. One type, called epithelium, lines the heart and blood vessels. One type called endothelium. endothelium, endothelium. One type called endothelium lines the heart and blood vessels. Another type called mesothelium forms the serous membranes that line the thoracic and abdominal pelvic cavities and cover the organs within them. Simple cuboidal epithelium consists of a single layer of cube-shaped cells that function in secretion and absorption. It is found covering the ovaries, in the kidneys, and eyes, and lining some glandular ducts. Non-ciliated simple columnar epithelium, a single layer of non-ciliated rectangular cells, line most of the gastrointestinal tract. Specialized cells contain microvilli, perform absorption. Goblet cells secrete mucus. Ciliated simple columnar epithelium consists of a single layer of ciliated rectangular cells. It is found in a few portions of the respiratory tract where it moves foreign particles trapped in mucus out of the respiratory tract. Pseudostratified columnar epithelium has only 1 layer but gives the appearance of many. A ciliated variety contains goblet cells and lines most of the upper respiratory tract where it moves mucus by ciliary action. A non-ciliated variety has no goblet cells and lines ducts of many glands, the epididymis, and part of the male urethra where it protects and absorbs. Stratified squamous epithelium consists of several layers of cells. Cells of the apical layer and several layers deep to it are flat. A non-keratinized variety lines the mouth. A keratinized variety forms the epidermis, the most superficial layer of the skin. Stratified cuboidal epithelium consists of several layers of cells. Cells at the apical layer are cube-shaped. It is found in adult sweat glands and a portion of the male urethra, where it provides limited secretion and absorption. Stratified columnar epithelium consists of several layers of cells. Cells of the apical layer have a columnar shape. It is found in a portion of the male urethra and large excretory ducts of some glands, where it functions in protection and secretion. Transitional epithelium consists of several layers of cells whose appearance varies with the degree of stretching. It lines the urinary bladder. A gland is a single cell or group of epithelial cells adapted for secretion. Endocrine glands secrete hormones into interstitial fluid and then into the blood. Exocrine glands, mucus, sweat, oil, and digestive glands, secrete into ducts or directly onto a free surface. The structural classification of exocrine glands includes unicellular and multicellular glands. The functional classification of exocrine glands includes holocrine, apocrine, and merocrine glands. The functional classification of endocrine glands includes holocrine, apocrine, and merocrine glands. Connective tissue. Connective tissue is one of the most abundant body tissues. Connective tissue consists of relatively few cells and an abundant extracellular matrix of ground substance and fibers. It does not usually occur on free surfaces, has a nerve supply, except for cartilage, and is highly vascular, except for cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. Cells in connective tissue are derived primarily from mesenchymal cells. Cell types include fibroblasts, secrete extracellular matrix, macrophages, perform phagocytosis, plasma cells secrete antibodies, mast cells produce histamine, adipocytes store fat, and white blood cells migrate from blood in response to infection. The ground substance and fibers make up the extracellular matrix. The ground substance supports and binds cells together, provides a medium for the exchange of materials, stores water, and actively influences cell function. Substances found in the ground substance include water, polysaccharides such as hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate, dermatan sulfate, and keratin sulfate. Glucosaminoglycans are those last substances I mentioned. Also present are proteoglycans and adhesion proteins. The fibers in the extracellular matrix provide strength and support and are of three types. Collagen fibers composed of collagen are found in large amounts in bone, tendons, and ligaments. Elastic fibers composed of elastin, fibrillin, and other glycoproteins are found in skin, blood vessel walls, and lungs. Reticular fibers composed of collagen and glycoprotein are found around fat cells, nerve fibers, and skeletal and smooth muscle. The two major subclasses of connective tissue are embryonic connective tissue found in the embryo and fetus and mature connective tissue present in the newborn. The embryonic connective tissue are mesenchyme, which forms almost all other connective tissue, and mucous connective tissue found in the umbilical cord of the fetus where it gives support. Mature connective tissue differentiates from mesenchyme. It is subdivided into several types: loose or dense connective tissue, cartilage, bone tissue, and liquid connective tissue. Loose connective tissue includes areolar connective tissue, adipose tissue, and reticular connective tissue. Areolar connective tissue consists of three types of fibers, several types of cells, and a semi-fluid ground substance. It is found in the subcutaneous layer and mucous membranes and around blood vessels, nerves, and body organs. Adipose tissue consists of adipocytes, which store triglycerides. It is found in the subcutaneous layer around organs and in yellow bone marrow. Brown adipose tissue, or BAT, generates heat. Reticular connective tissue consists of reticular fibers and reticular cells and is found in the liver, spleen, and lymph nodes. Dense connective tissue includes dense regular connective tissue, dense irregular connective tissue, and elastic connective tissue. Dense regular connective tissue consists of parallel bundles of collagen fibers and fibroblasts. It forms tendons, most ligaments, and aponeurosis. Dense irregular connective tissue usually consists of randomly arranged collagen fibers and a few fibroblasts. It is found in fasciae, the dermis of skin, and membrane capsules around organs. Elastic connective tissue consists of branching elastic fibers and fibroblasts. It is found in the walls of large arteries, lungs, trachea, and bronchial tubes. Cartilage contains chondrocytes and has a rubbery extracellular matrix. Chondroitin sulfate containing collagen and elastic fibers. Hyaline cartilage, which consists of a gel-like ground substance and appears bluish-white in the body, is found in the embryonic skeleton, at the end of bones, in the nose, and in respiratory structures. It is flexible, allows movement, and provides support, and is usually surrounded by a perichondrium. Fibrocartilage is found in the pubic symphysis, intervertebral discs, and menisci, cartilage pads, of the knee joint. It contains chondrocytes scattered among clearly visible bundles of collagen fibers. Elastic cartilage, which maintains the shape of organs such as the epiglottis of the larynx, auditory, eustachian tubes, and external ear, contains chondrocytes located within a thread-like network of elastic fibers and has a perichondrium. Cartilage enlarges by interstitial growth from within and appositional growth from without. Bone or osseous tissue consists of an extracellular matrix of mineral salts and collagen fibers that contribute to the hardness of bones, and osteocytes that are located in lacunae. It supports, protects, provides a surface area for muscle attachment, helps provide movement, stores minerals, and houses blood-forming tissue. Blood tissue is liquid connective tissue that consists of blood plasma and formed elements, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Its cells transport oxygen and carbon dioxide, carry on phagocytosis, participate in allergic reactions, provide immunity, and bring about blood clotting. Lymph, the extracellular fluid that flows in lymphatic vessels, is also a liquid connective tissue. It is a clear fluid similar to blood plasma, but with less protein. Membranes. An epithelial membrane consists of an epithelial layer overlaying a connective tissue layer. Examples are mucous, serous, and cutaneous membranes. Mucous membranes line cavities that open to the exterior, such as the gastrointestinal tract. Serous membranes line close cavities, pleural, pericardium, peritoneum, and cover organs in the cavities. These membranes consist of parietal and visceral layers. Synovial membranes line joint cavities. Bursa and tendon sheets and consist of areolar connective tissue instead of epithelium. Muscular tissue. Muscular tissue consists of cells called muscle fibers that are specialized for contractions. It provides motion, maintenance of posture, heat production, and protection. Skeletal muscle tissue is attached to bone and is striated involuntary. The action of cardiac muscle tissue, which forms most of the heart wall and is striated, is involuntary. Smooth muscle tissue is found in the walls of hollow internal structures, blood vessels, and viscera, and is non-striated and involuntary. Nervous tissue. The nervous system is composed of neurons, nerve cells, and neuroglia. Protective and supporting cells. Neurons are sensitive to stimuli, convert stimuli into electrical signal called action potential, nerve impulses, and conduct nerve impulses. Most neurons consist of a cell body and two types of processes, dendrites and axons. Excitable cells. Electrical excitability is the ability to respond to certain stimuli by producing electrical signals such as action potentials. Because neurons and muscle fibers exhibit electrical excitability, they are considered excitable cells. Tissue repair, restoring homeostasis. Tissue repair is the replacement of worn-out, damaged, or dead cells by healthy ones. Stem cells may divide to replace lost or damaged cells. If the injury is superficial, tissue repair involves parenchymal regeneration. If damage is extensive, granulation tissue is involved. Good nutrition and blood circulation are vital to tissue repair. Aging in tissue. Tissues heal faster and leave less obvious scars in the young than in the aged. Surgery performed on fetuses leaves no scar. The extracellular components of tissues, such as collagen and elastic fibers, also change with age. And that concludes the study guide for Chapter 4.